Johnny Depp was once one of the most powerful and recognizable faces in Hollywood. For decades, his name alone could sell a movie. From quirky outsiders to legendary characters, he built a career that felt untouchable. But then, almost overnight, everything collapsed. Studios walked away, fans are confused, and Hollywood quietly erased him. So, how did one of the biggest stars in the world lose everything? And how did he manage to come back when almost no one expected it? Let's start at the beginning. Johnny Depp didn't rise to fame the traditional Hollywood way. He wasn't built as a clean-cut leading man. Instead, he became famous by choosing strange, risky, and often misunderstood roles. In the late 1980s, he gained attention on television, but he quickly rejected that teen idol image. He wanted depth, not popularity, and that decision defined his entire career. His collaborations with visionary directors turned him into something rare, a mainstream star who still felt underground. Then came the role that changed everything. Captain Jack Sparrow. What was supposed to be a simple pirate movie became a global phenomenon. Johnny Depp didn't just play the character, he became it. Audiences around the world loved the performance, and Hollywood rewarded him with massive paychecks and endless opportunities. At his peak, Depp was one of the highest-paid actors in history. But behind the scenes, his personal life was becoming increasingly unstable. Relationships grew complicated. Substance abuse rumors followed him everywhere, and the media slowly shifted its tone from admiration to suspicion. Still, none of that destroyed his career. What happened next did. When allegations surfaced from his marriage, the public reaction was immediate and brutal. Before courts reached conclusions, before evidence was carefully examined, the verdict had already been delivered online. Guilty. Hollywood didn't wait. Major studios cut ties with him almost instantly. Projects disappeared. Long-running franchises removed him without hesitation. Johnny Depp went from being one of the most bankable stars in the world to being labeled a liability. What made it worse was the silence. For years, Depp barely defended himself publicly. While headlines painted him as a villain, he chose the courtroom instead of social media. And that decision came at a massive cost. During this period, his career hit rock bottom. No major roles, no studio backing, no public support from the industry that once celebrated him. Many believed it was over, but Johnny Depp didn't disappear. He focused on something else. Truth. The legal battles that followed weren't just about reputation. They were about survival, about reclaiming a name that had been destroyed before a fair trial ever happened. As court documents emerged and testimonies were heard, public opinion began to shift, slowly at first. Then dramatically, people started paying attention to details they had ignored before. Contradictions appeared, narratives changed, and suddenly, the story no longer felt so simple. When the defamation trial became public, millions watched every moment, not because it was celebrity gossip, but because it felt like something bigger. A powerful industry decision was being questioned in real time. For the first time in years, Johnny Depp told his story, fully, openly, and under oath, and the reaction was explosive. Fans who once stayed silent spoke up. Support poured in from all over the world, not because he was perfect, but because people saw something familiar, a man who had been judged before being heard. When the verdict arrived, it wasn't just a legal win, it was a cultural moment. Hollywood had acted fast to cancel him, but rebuilding trust took far longer. Still, something remarkable happened. Studios began reconsidering. International projects welcomed him. Film festivals embraced him again. Johnny Depp didn't return as a blockbuster superhero or franchise machine. He came back as an artist. Selective roles, creative freedom, and control over his own narrative. His comeback wasn't loud. It was deliberate, and that might be the most powerful part of the story. Johnny Depp's career today looks very different from his peak years, but in many ways it's stronger. He no longer needs Hollywood's approval to exist, and perhaps that's what truly saved him. His story raises uncomfortable questions. How quickly do industries abandon people? How often do accusations replace evidence? And how many careers have ended before the truth ever surfaced? Johnny Depp lost everything, but he also proved something rare, that sometimes survival itself is the comeback.